Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us. We're back again with Why Are You Worried About It? A Journey Towards a Better You podcast. I'm Lindsay Bush with Crossroads Counseling, HR Director.
And hey, everybody, I'm Susie Arbo, a licensed professional counselor, and we are totally on this journey with you guys, always trying to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And we love to cover topics that are just really relevant to life, don't we, Lindsay?
Yes. Yeah, we do. They always, every time I feel like we get to talk about something, it's like something that's triggered going on in our lives or something. So it's very real. It's like, okay, this is something that we've been focused on or something that's came up. And we're like, you know what? Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. And since we're in the line of work, we work with people, that's our job. And we get to hear firsthand too what other people might be going through on this journey called life, or they might be struggling with. And so just any way that we can make things a little bit better for people is our goal. And like I said, we're on this journey with you guys, and we've just had so much fun with this. We love it.
Yes. Living and learning together.
That's right. Today is a fun topic. I feel like it's very near and dear to our hearts. And it's something a little different. We normally don't talk about this too much, do we, Lindsay? We try to live it, but we don't always talk about it.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because it's a harder one, I think. Easy to talk about. It's easy to tell people what they should do always and things, but it's definitely one harder to implement in your own life when things are so personal and hard, and it's hard to always do the right thing. So today I'm excited because I know it's very near and dear to me right now, is taking the high road. How do we do that all the time and all the bad thing? I mean, life's not easy, and it's not gonna be, and we know that, but it's um it's hard sometimes when you want to react and sometimes not take that high road. You just want to dig and really say what's on your mind. And I have a very good friend that has taught me that just because you have the thought doesn't mean you need to say it. And I think that definitely goes in with taking the high road.
Yes, yeah, I love it. That's one of the things that I love to tell people is we shouldn't say everything we think, right? Because our thoughts, we have a lot of thoughts about things, and kind of where some of this I feel like kind of originated. It's no secret. I love John Maxwell, and we're big John Maxwell fans just because he's such a good human, and he creates so many good things in this world as like guidelines for people to live by. That's just he always preaches about taking that high road, and he came out with the most amazing leadership book I've done so far called High Road Leadership. And so some of that is kind of sparked by I think our conversations today, but then just in life in general, it just applies to so many things. When you think about there's the low road, there's the middle road, and then there's the high road. And you can really apply that to anything, whether it be, your interactions with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers, even just like something as simple as you're driving in traffic and somebody, you're going too slow for somebody and they whiz by you and they, give you a nasty look or honk at you or something. And you could be nasty back, right? You could honk that horn and show them some signs and whatever. And that would be, in my opinion, taking the low road. And does it do any good? Does it help you at all in life? Does it benefit you? Not really.
Exactly. What's the benefit? That's what I try to think about all those things too. Sometimes it's easy to justify. You can justify to yourself and you think, oh, well, this is why I'm doing that, or this is why I should tell them about themselves. And it's like, really, though, if you step back, and I think we've talked about it before in previous podcasts, but is it, again, I go back to is it really that big of a problem? Is it going to be a problem in, like you've taught me, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days? No, getting cut off by somebody in traffic or things like that. Like, really, why are we going to focus our energy on that? I know some people that literally it can ruin somebody's entire day. One bad interaction because they will talk about it and they stew on it and they just go and they just keep feeding this negative energy. And I'm like, why are we still talking about this? Like, is it that big of a deal? And it's just interesting to me that people can just dive into that negative mentality and just live there. And it's not fun for anybody. I don't think anybody means to, but I think it's easy and it's a natural thing to do. People look for the negative all the time. So it's hard. I think it takes work to find that positive of, oh, okay, well, maybe they're in a hurry, or maybe something's going on and they had to get somewhere quick, or things like that. It's definitely harder to take that approach than to just be like, oh, I'm mad about it.
Hmm.
You're inconveniencing me, so now I'm upset. And that seems silly.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I feel like that saying, what you focus on will grow. so big, because if you focus on that
Absolutely.
negative interaction or that person that, wasn't kind to you or wasn't good to you or treated you poorly, and if you just keep thinking about that over and over, it fuels your fire. You get more and more angry, and it's like, why? Life is so short. We don't know, how, our days and whatnot. And so it's just like, you have the choice to take that high road and just say, you know what, that person, they do them, and I'm gonna do me, and I'm not gonna choose
Yep.
to keep their energy going. And I think that goes with giving people grace, and realizing that
Oh,
maybe they
yes.
had a way different upbringing than you, and they're reacting in the way that they feel like is best, and it really has nothing to do with you. And I think that's so important. And sometimes too, people, they don't maybe know how to cope with their anger or their stress. And so then maybe you're that punching bag for a minute. And so just kind of giving people, not saying that you should be walked all over, whatever, but
For sure.
getting back down to their level. Like we said, it never helps. It never does anything. What we can do, I feel like, is we can role model being on that high road, and even though they treat us with disrespect or being unkind or rudeness, we don't have to be like that back. We can say, I'm sorry, this is a terrible situation, this is a really hard situation, however, I'm choosing to figure out a solution or work through it, or be the best, that we can be through this situation. And I'm not going to treat you unkindly. I love you unconditionally, and I know you're going to have bad days and bad times, but let's work through it. And I think just role modeling that can happen is huge, because so many people just want to fight back, you know what I mean, or be dirty
Oh,
back.
yeah. Yeah, and it's funny how you can pick up. I see it in my kids, obviously. They watch and they absorb everything, and I know we all, as we grow and we start making our decisions, you decide who you want to be and who you don't want to be, whether you had a good role model or a bad role model in any of those things. But it's really important to me. I don't want it to be the natural response for my children to automatically think it's okay to flip off the handle because I get mad when I'm driving or something. And different scenarios like that kind of hits me. Trust me, I'm not perfect. I have my moments where I would like to lead the convoy on that low road, but I know it's not going to serve me. It's not going to do well. There's plenty of times I've got things I want to say or feel the desire to say, and it's like, really, what am I showing the people around me and the person and the energy that I want to be in my character? Is more important to me than proving a point that's probably not going to be received. That's the thing when I think about it too. People hear all these things about you're mad about something, and it's like, are they really? If you go out of your way to get in an argument or something with this person or whatever is bothering you, are they even going to receive it? Is it even worth that energy? And again, I'm like you. There are times when you have to stand up for yourself and set your boundaries and things, but really stepping back and thinking about all those times you're truly choosing your battle, you're probably not going to have that many battles. I mean, I know I don't. I really don't. There are things that might upset me every now and then, but usually I have my go-to, my person, and I vent and I talk and I think through it, and it's that solution focused of, okay, what's going to serve me better? And I think that that's really beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While you were talking, I was just thinking about, if you look on social media, sometimes like some of those community forums, when one person just kind of starts going off, and they might like tear somebody just completely apart, and be on their keyboards and just be typing away, and just like, this is somebody's life or it's their business or whatever. And it's definitely not taking the high road, and no good becomes out of that. They're just fueling the fire for negativity. And it's like, why do that? And then I see a couple people try to put out some positive things, and then they get and stuff kind of shut down. And what I want to remind people is that it's exhausting to like be in that state of mind where you're on that low road, because you're focusing so much on the negative, and it just can be just awful. And so, like, if you want a way to kind of, reduce your stress and feel lighter in life and feel happier, it is just, let things go. Know that you're going to be mad or upset about something. Some people will hurt you. They will be disrespectful to you. They will be unkind. They'll screw you over sometimes. We have people in life that do that to you. It does us no good to be at their level. What it does is to, you know what, they were in our life for a season. They maybe taught us something. They made us stronger. We're better because we had that interaction, and now we can leave that behind and say, that was a wonderful learning opportunity. I'm going to keep moving on, and I'm going to find the right people that are positive and genuine and have integrity and respect. And that's who I want to do life with, right?
Yep.
And so I think just kind of going through your people or your coworkers or whoever, and just kind of knowing where people are at and how they behave. And again, your part in this world is that you can role model good stuff for people.
Yeah. And I think your energy is contagious. If you walk in every day to work maybe and you're annoyed to be there, I'm not a morning person. Everybody that knows me knows that. And if I walk in grumpy every morning and I'm upset and I don't talk to me or whatever, it just kind of fuels the, or if you walk into a meeting and it's you set that tone. But if you walk in and you can smile and you can, maybe you don't want to be there either, but why not make it a positive interaction or a positive experience? You can always get something out of anything. Even if it's setting in a meeting you think that could be an email, you could learn how would you structure it then? What would you do different if you were in control? Or think about things that you could get positively out of it instead of just sitting there stewing over wasting 10 minutes of your life. Well, don't waste it. Think of anything you can that would make it a positive experience. I mean, there's always going to be things that we're not going to enjoy doing. That's kind of part of life, but taking that low road or that negative approach is just not a healthy mindset for anybody. And you are then encouraging those around you to react or behave in that same behavior. And I know I don't want to hang out with people that are negative Nellies all the time. Like, it is not fun for me. It sucks the life out of me. So, and I understand that it can be very opposite though too. Those people that are always positive and always everything's giddy and happy, that can be exhausting too. But just knowing that really those positive thoughts and positive mindset's going to keep you on that high road way more than that low road.
Yeah, and what good advice you have there, Lindsay. That's awesome. I'm taking notes right now as you're talking. You're awesome. It drains your battery. You know how we talked on another
Absolutely.
podcast about our batteries, our internal batteries, how we all have them. It drains you to be around those things. One of the things that we always try to do on this podcast is give everybody a call to action or something maybe that they can reflect on and learn and grow from. And so I just want everybody, and I'm going to do it too, and I know Lindsay's going to do it right now, but just think about a time that maybe somebody was bad to you. Maybe they were disrespectful. Maybe they gave you some mean words, or they, you know, I said screwed you over. They just kind of took advantage of you. Think about that right now, and just kind of what are the feelings that are attached to that? What do you feel when you focus on that? Right. Do you have permission to feel that way? Probably. We get hurt as humans and it's natural to feel bad, right? Now we can stay stuck in that feeling if we want to. Or we can climb up onto that high road and we can figure out how we can handle that moving forward in a better way, right? And think about that interaction with that person or that thing or whatever it was that happened. I want you to think about how you did handle it in that moment. Did you sink down to that level? Did you, fight back? Did you, however you handled it, maybe good or bad, just think about it. And then what can you learn from that? And just think about how you feel about it now. I know, in the last month, there's been a situation that's been heavy on my heart, and I'm using that as kind of my example. And I feel, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I don't know that I would have handled it in the situation that I'm handling it today. Right. Because I feel like personal development and growth and just learning and just being the best version of yourself, you learn so much about what works and what doesn't, what's productive and what's not. And so just kind of like thinking about that, learning from it. If you can be better, do it. I know I can always be better. You can always be better. And then let's figure out the next time we have one of those situations going on where somebody sends us that message or says something or does something, when we're driving or whatever it might be for you, how you want to handle it and how you'll feel better. Because I don't know about you, Lindsay, but I sleep so much better at night when I know that I'm a good person doing good things and being good to other people. Like
Yeah.
that's my character and that's how I want to be and how I want to roll. So
Yep. I totally agree. I think that's really good points because it's super important just to remember what you are bringing and who you are. I used to love to do a game with some of my employees back a long time ago, and it's interesting to see how people perceive you. What you think you're putting out into the world is, oh, I'm a positive person who's driven and who all of these things. I could list off all of these attributes, obviously, that are wonderful. But then when it's anonymous and you flip that over and you let people go around and write things about you, what do they see? Are they writing all those positive attributes? Or are they maybe telling you you're bossy or you're judgmental or you're quick to react or some of those not so nice things? And a lot of times people didn't say a lot of those things, but it is interesting in what you put out into people and how you feel that you're being perceived and how you truly are being perceived. And I think that goes back to justifying your own behavior and really just taking a moment to like really self-reflect. Did I respond in the way that I truly should have or would have liked to have been received? I don't know. It's hard to do, and it's hard to have that mirror, to really think about it. But I think it's great point, Susie, to just really look at how could you have done better in any scenario, even if you think you did it right and you feel good about it. It's okay to still reflect and say, you know what, next time maybe I'm going to try this.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. And it kind of brought me back to when I was kind of talking about that, about our little exercise that we did. We did it one time at a company training. Lindsay probably remember it, and I've just heard it in different ways, played different I guess versions of it, but it's the 3 words, and it's choosing 3 words that kind of like your way that you want to be known. 3 words as far as like kind of your how you want to live life.
Characteristic trait.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Like some adjectives that describe yourself, and I know my adjectives that I've chosen, and this is kind of a fun thing. Positive, encouraging, and motivating. Those are the 3 things that when somebody meets me, I hope that maybe I give them a little touch of one of those 3 or all 3 of those things. But what you do then is you put it in your phone, those 3 adjectives, and then you set different reminders like throughout your day on your alarm, and you label them those 3 words. And so I have 3 times a day, and sometimes I have to adjust them a little bit depending on what my schedule is. But my alarm goes off and it says positive, encouraging, and motivating. So we had our whole company figure out their 3 words of how they want to be known. And just not that we're perfect at it, but it's something we're aspiring to be. Right. And it's just a good reminder because once something's out of sight, they're out of mind. Do you remember some of
Yep.
your words, Lindsay?
It's funny, and I'm piggybacking, of course, but mine was, I believe, positive, confident, and motivating.
Hey, those are
And for
good.
me, it was hard to not be confident in some of the things. Whenever you're doing things, I struggle with that imposter syndrome sometimes, where I just don't think I'm good enough to do it. And it's like, no, I have to re-talk to myself. And so I love having those words that help me just know that it's important for me. I need to believe in myself because I feel like we're out here doing important work and all those things, and it helps me be a better leader and mostly live life on that high road that I'm trying to. Absolutely. I struggle every now and then, but
Yeah, we all do. But you know what? We all look better on that high road. That's for sure. Right. Yeah.
yep. And like you said, there's a lot of less traffic up here.
Hmm.
Maybe it's because we're not looking at it as traffic like you would on the low road, not to use that pun again, like the thinking about driving, but literally it's, I think if you're on the low road driving around with all these people, you're going to look at it negatively, and there's lots of them down there and it's frustrating, but up there on the high road, it's pretty smooth sailing.
Yep. That's right. That's right. So we gotta wrap up here today, but such a fun and, like we said, difficult, it's a challenge to do this, but we encourage you to do it, and let's make this world a better place. We got a lot of crazy stuff going around, but it starts with us. We can be better and help more people and whatnot. And we want to thank people for listening. We've heard some feedback and we love it. Please keep us in the loop of other topics that you want to hear, or if you ever have something interesting you want to be on the show, we want to hear that too. So we are so grateful for you guys on this journey with us to a better you.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, and you can always find us on our website if you want to email us or let us know what you want to hear. But we really enjoy this, and we can't wait for our next episodes to come out. Again, I'm Lindsay Bush with Crossroads Counseling.
And I'm Susie Arbo.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for listening.